We have two apologies this afternoon. Apologies from Councillor Christensen and apologies from Councillor Kloss. I'd like to move that they be accepted. Over second is Councillor Johnson. All in favour? Aye. Carried. Are there any items on the agenda that any councillors need to or feel they should be declaring a conflict of interest? Oh, no, I haven't actually. No, I didn't even notice Rodney was absent. So at this stage, I have no apologies from Rodney Dow, Councillor Dow. Bruce, heard anything?
No, here he is.
Is he here?
Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, Councillor.
Afternoon.
Just park the truck outside, have you? Just note that Councillor Dow was 8 minutes late.
Are you going to ask about the decoration?
Sorry?
Are you going to ask about the decoration?
Oh, sorry, yes. Councillor Dow, are there any items on this afternoon's agenda that you should be declaring a conflict of interest? Okay, moving on to item 289, the Ōtorohanga Town Concept Plan. I'll pass over to you, Ross. Welcome, and Nadia.
Yes, Laura, thank you, Worship. Good afternoon, councillors. So this is the culmination of a journey that really started with the adoption of the long-term plan last year, with the bulk of the work starting in this calendar year. So it's the result of extensive investigation, analysis, community and stakeholder feedback, and the full version of the plan that is included with the agenda reflects the decisions and direction taken during and as a result of the consideration of submissions. What you also have is a summary document, and that's drawn from material in the full document. So there was nothing new in the summary document. It was just considered a useful thing to have for those who might not relish the thought of going through a 200+ page document. But the essence of the town concept plan is in that summary document. In my report, the direction and changes that were confirmed as a result of the consideration of submissions are summarised in the table. And I'd like perhaps just to take the opportunity to make a few points of clarification. So the first is I refer to the Ōtorohanga College funding being secured. That of course isn't the case just yet. We hope it will be. So just note that that is pending at this stage. It was raised yesterday at the community board meeting. The reference to water tanks could be interpreted differently. The intention is rainwater tanks, so it's a stormwater attenuation matter. Also raised yesterday or flagged yesterday in your message and the chair of the board's message, Your Worship, I've referred to, or we've referred to, CAFIA plan. That should really be the CAFIA Aotea plan, so we'll make that change. And the other matter that came up yesterday was in relation to trucks or heavy vehicles in the main street here in Ōtorohanga. So the suggestion was, rather than just referring to trucks, forward that out to the heavy vehicles. Now, in the recommendation to you, I've asked for scope to be able to continue to look at the documents, the big documents. They've come together reasonably quickly in the last stage, and I can't, with my hand on the heart, say that there won't be any typos or other matters for editorial refinement. So this is a request to allow that process to take place. There will be no substantive or fundamental change to anything in the document. So perhaps just to wrap up from me, all submitters will receive a written response to their submission. and the table in the report will really provide the essence of that response. And of course, once adopted, which I hope will happen shortly, we will shift our attention to the implementation of the plan. So you'll recall that when you signed off this project in the long-term plan, you also included $2.1 million budget for implementation. So that's for the Ōtorohanga plan, the Kawhia Aotea plan, and the rural area plan. And we're under, or certainly I'm under no illusion that there's a lot of work outside of the individual projects or actions in the plan to actually move the implementation forward. So there will be some work done on what that implementation of the implementation plan looks like, and the resourcing that's required to support that. And that, of course, will come out of, or should come out of, the budget that's already been set aside for that. So I don't have anything further to add, but Nadia may wish to add anything or not.
No, I think you covered it. That's right.
Awesome. Thanks, Ross. Any questions, councillors? I always look to you, Kit.
Oh, I do. I think,
yeah.
I think, well, firstly, can I just congratulate Ross and Nadia and the rest of the staff involved in putting this together. I think you've done a splendid job, and I think probably from a consultation perspective, I think we've done pretty well with the recent hui's that we had with the cars and the pie families and so on. So the question I would have was, and I'm probably being a little bit cheeky here, is going forward, we did talk at one stage about picking off some low-hanging fruit. Did you have any ideas as to what that low-hanging fruit might be, so that we can actually show people that we're actually doing something with the plan?
So I think there's three, Your Worship. There's two areas here. One is when you look at the action plan, we've been quite deliberate around the timing. So there, those near term, as in the next few years, those projects, in my view, will need to be advanced reasonably quickly. But there's nothing like getting stuff done on the ground as well. So I think we'll have a particular eye on things that will make a physical difference in the community. As those low.
Thank you, Your Worship.
Yeah, first off, Ross, I'd just like to acknowledge the community board on those points in terms of sorting out typos, etc. Absolutely understand that as well. So you have the full clearance to run ahead and make those changes that are needed. But from my perspective, the same as Councillor Jeffries, to yourself and to Nadia, thank you so much for the work that's gone on behind this. And I do love the title of Chief Advisor, and yeah, I think it's very appropriate on this role. So yeah, thank you again for where we've got to at this stage, and really looking forward to where this town concept plan goes, and whether the concept plans carry on after this for both the district and Kawhia Aotea. So
thank you, Worship. Can I just acknowledge the passionate and committed and energetic team of incredibly well served. They've actually done more than was asked of them, and I do acknowledge and take my hat off to them for their professionalism, but also they've invested themselves in this community, and that's been reflected in this project.
Thanks, Ross. And if you could also pass on our appreciation for the work that they've put in there as well. Thank you very much.
Your Worship, sorry, there was just one other thing. The very last table in item on the table, Waihatapu sites, Willie Rangatawa, when he was at the meeting here the other day, offered that sort of information. So is that intended to follow up with Willie and get that information?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Great, thank you.
Awesome, thank you. So before us, we have a staff recommendation. If there's no further questions, that the Ōtorohanga District Council Having considered the updated draft Ōtorohanga Town Concept Plan as amended following the consideration of submissions and the draft Ōtorohanga Town Concept Plan summary as recommended by the Ōtorohanga Community Board, adopt both documents with any further minor editorial changes required. I'd like to move that. I have a seconder. Seconder, Councillor Ferguson, actually. Meeting of Item 290, resolution to exclude the public. So I'd like to move the public be excluded.
Yeah,
I
I'll
will
second
second Councillor Jeffries.